Good morning. I am Pratishtha from BTech CSE second year. My topic is binary counter as a frequency divider. First of all, what is a counter? A counter is a sequential circuit that is made up of a series of flip-flops. The basic purpose of a counter is to count the number of clock pulses. Counters are of two types: synchronous counters and asynchronous counters. The counting range in case of a counter, that is, the starting and the ending point, depends upon the design of a counter. Now, before going through synchronous and asynchronous counters, let's first see system clock. System clock. It is an electronic oscillator that generates a sequence of repetitive pulses called the clock signal, which is distributed to all the memory elements in the circuit. The basic memory element of the sequential circuit remains a flip-flop. Now let's talk about asynchronous counters. Asynchronous counters are also known as triple counters. Here, the external clock pulse is not fed simultaneously to all the flip-flops. As we can see in the circuit diagram shown here, the external clock pulse is fed to the first flip-flop, and then the output of the first flip-flop is connected as a clock pulse to the second flip-flop, and similarly the output of all the preceding flip-flops are connected as a clock pulse to the next flip-flops. Therefore, we can say that the clock pulse is not fed simultaneously in case of asynchronous counters. Now, since this counter is using 4 flip-flops, therefore it is a 4-bit asynchronous counter. Now, let's see synchronous counters. In case of synchronous counters, the clock pulse is fed simultaneously to all the flip-flops. As we can see in this circuit diagram, the external clock pulse is fed simultaneously to all these 4 flip-flops. Therefore, it is a 4-bit synchronous counter. Now, let's see binary counter as a frequency divider. As we have already stated that in case of asynchronous counter, the clock pulse is not fed simultaneously to all the flip-flops. Therefore, asynchronous counters serve the purpose of frequency divider. As we can see in this circuit diagram, the external clock pulse is applied to the flip-flop A, and then the output of the flip-flop A, that is QA, is fed as a clock pulse to the next flip-flop, that is to the flip-flop B. Now, since these clocks are positive edge triggered, therefore, when we draw the waveforms of the external clock pulse and the outputs Q and QB, we notice that the triggering action occurs at the positive edges only. Now, let's observe the waveforms of the outputs and the external clock pulse. The waveform of the external clock signal is shown here. Both the outputs QA and QB were set to 0 initially. When the first clock pulse arrives, that is at the positive edge of the first clock pulse, the value of QA triggers from 0 to 1. It remains 1 until the next positive edge of the clock pulse arrives, that is at this very point. The value of QA again triggers at this point from 1 to 0. It remains 0 until the next positive edge of the clock pulse arrives at this point, and it triggers from 0 to 1 again. Similarly, we can draw the entire clock waveform of the output QA. Now, in order to draw the waveform of the output QB, we need to consider the waveform of the output QA, because QA was serving as the clock pulse, clock signal for the flip-flop B. Initially QB was 0. When the first positive edge of QA arrives, the value of QB triggers from 0 to 1. It remains 1 until the next positive edge of QA arrives. At this very point, the value of QB again triggers from 1 to 0 at this point. It remains 0 until the next positive edge of QA arrives. At this point, the value of QB again triggers at this point from 0 to 1. And similarly, we can draw the entire waveform of QB. Now, from all these waveforms, we can easily see that the time period of the flip-flop A is 2 times the time period of the external clock pulse. And similarly, the time period of the flip-flop B, that is TB, is 2 times the time period of the flip-flop A, that is TA. And since we know that the frequency is inversely proportional to the time period, therefore we can say that frequency of the flip-flop B, that is FB, is half the frequency of the flip-flop A. And similarly, the frequency of the flip-flop A is half the frequency of the external clock signal. That is, we can derive this expression that FB is equal to FA divided by 2 and FB is also equal to FC divided by 4. Now, let's generalize this expression for an n-bit flip-flop. For n-bit flip-flop, we can say that the frequency of the nth flip-flop, that is Fn, is equal to the frequency of the external clock pulse divided by 2 to the power of n. Now, by knowing the value of QA and QB, we can easily determine the truth table for the counter that we have shown in the previous slides. The truth table of the counter that we have shown in the previous slide is shown here. Initially, both QA and QB were set to 0, as we can verify from the waveform. When the first clock pulse arrived, the value of QA triggered from 0 to 1, and the value of QB also triggered from 0 to 1. It was the first state with the decimal equivalent of 3. When the second clock pulse arrived, the value of QA triggered from 1 to 0, whereas the value of QB remained same. It was the second state with the decimal equivalent of 2. When the third clock pulse arrived, the value of QA again triggered from 0 to 1, and the value of QB triggered from 1 to 0. It was the third state with the decimal equivalent of 1. When the fourth clock pulse arrived, the value of QA again triggered from 1 to 0, and the value of QB remained same, that is equal to 0. It was the fourth state with the decimal equivalent of 0. Now, from this truth table, we can easily see that the counting range of this counter is from 0 to 3, and the total number of states are 4. Therefore, we can generalize this for n-bit counter that the maximum count is equal to 2 to the power of n minus 1, and the total number of states are 2 to the power of n. This is a generalization that we have come to know after considering the previous example. Now, let's talk about modulus of the counter. Modulus of a counter is just a term that is used in order to tell the number of flip-flops that we can use in the counter. For a 2-bit triple counter, it is known as mod 4 or modulus 4 counter. Similarly, a 3-bit triple counter is known as mod 8 or modulus 8 counter. Therefore, we can generalize that n-bit triple counter is known as mod 2 to the power of n counter. This is the generalization that we have come to know after considering all these examples. Thank you.